Hello, hello. Hi, everybody. So, as you can see, I'm alone today. Um, I was torn as to if I should come on alone, but schedules and germs and everything seems to be ruling. So, I've mustered up the courage. Here I am. Hello, Camille. Hello, hello. Hello, Heather. Hi, Amber. Yes, Amber has her little girl has an ear infection. So that's it. There's so many things going around. It's really a tough time. Hi, Kathy. Hi, Lynn. Susan. Hello, hello. Sally. Deborah. There, Amber's saying hi to you, Camille. Thanks, Susan. Yeah, it's and then let's be honest, some real talk. The just it's not a very kind of motivational time. It's so dark and gloomy. We have not had snow. So we really have like this dark gray thing going in my neighborhood. And so it's a little depressing. Not that I'm in a depression, but I'm not super happy. And so, yeah, it's tough to get your butt off the sofa to, create and feel good. So thanks, Sally. You're working, Sonia. Jolita, hello. Hello, Camille again. Real. Yes, it's yeah, you got some snow. She had a snow day yesterday, Amber, with the kids. So yeah, so the weather and everything. So I was trying to think of what I do today, and since like really December 13th, it's too late kind of really to prep for Christmas, really anything. And we've done a ton of Christmas. So if you want to see some Christmas stuff, you can look back at previous lives or just some of our videos. So today I thought we'd look at Valentine's Day. It's coming fast. And if you want to order supplies, you kind of have to get looking now. Not your usual bouncy self. No. And I got to tell you, I think menopause is also not helping me. My brain is not, the wires are not as quick to connect. I'm feeling a little sluggish in the head. Yeah, the winter months are tough. Yes, Sonia, it's very hot in South Africa. Enjoy it. Oh gosh, how scary, Eileen. Tornadoes. Ooh, they frighten me. Never had to experience that. Okay, so today I did something. If those of you that have been watching the lives for a while, I added a supply list to the coffee shop. So today it's free. If you guys want to download that, let me just find the link for you. Where is the coffee shop here? Oh, here it is. So you can go. That's Hans Coffee Shop, and my coffee shop is there too. So you can see their coffee, Montreal Confections. And if you go there, you can download today's supply list. So it's a PDF document that you can just click on to order if you see anything that you see today there. I wanted to mention when I was looking at the links on Amazon, food color seems to be in short supply. The prices have been driven up. It's a supply thing. It's a little bit like Uber, I think, Amazon. And so when supply goes down, those that have supply, the price is driven up. I saw a pack of 12 airbrush colors for like $90. So you guys want to look around to see if maybe you can find stuff locally, maybe. But yeah, watch out for this kind of like increase for no reason, really. Yes, yes, that's for sure. Yes, everybody's a fan. Thank you, Camille. Thank you so much. Well, thank you guys. I appreciate that. Okay, so for today's project, I'm showing you guys these cutters. Now, this is AliExpress, and for those of you that watch often, you know that I'm a fan of AliExpress. I had made an image here. Is it here? Darn it, I had created an image and I don't have it here. But so if you go and find the link to this, you'll see that the shipping it's free shipping, but it's not going to make it in time. Okay, so you have to go into the options, the shipping options, and if you just pay $1, it'll be a month faster. So from free shipping to $1, you're going to get it by January 13th or something, which gives you plenty of time for Valentine's Day. But if you go with the free shipping, it's like the week of Valentine's Day, so it's a little close. So you want to maybe look at the paid shipping, like $1. It's really very reasonable. We forgive you, Liza. We forgive you. Yes, yes, absolutely. I don't know about the food color though. I mean, anyway, if you guys like Americolor, you can order directly from them. You don't have to go through Amazon, you know. They sell the price they sell, but I know there has been like issues with, like, because it's pigment, right? So if they can't get certain pigments to make the colors, I think it must be a little bit true. Okay, so for this cutter here, you can see you have 4 in the set, and if you go on the link, you'll see they have a whole bunch of different options. Hello, Fabiola. So you'll see they have a whole bunch of designs. They have some stuff for Easter. They have cute bears. They have all kinds of stuff, okay? So I'm just going to show you here. These are the cookies that I made today that I'm going to be showing you. So this is with the chocolate dough, okay? You can see them here a little overlapping. These are my cookies as well. This is vanilla. I do really like the cutters, so I'm just going to show them in action here. So this is, it's tough to film chocolate dough, but I do love chocolate for Valentine's Day. So a couple of things I'm going to talk about. First of all, if the dough is chilled, you can't seem to get the impression. It's very difficult to press into the dough when you're working with chilled dough. And I find that working with chilled dough, well, it helps it not be so sticky, and so it doesn't get stuck so much inside the cutter. So there's a bit of a dance there. The other thing is the actual cookie cutter is not that deep. It's not a super deep cutter. And so I found that the edges weren't really nicely cut. So you either roll it a little bit thinner and then, you know, try it again. I suggest you press the impression first. So when you do the impression, it expands the dough and then cut. Because if you cut and then do the impression, well, it expands the dough inside the cutter, if that makes sense, and it tends to get more lodged in there. So impression, then cut, okay, guys? And then it comes off pretty simply. Hello, Nadine. Hello, hello. Thank you. Hello, Sherry. Thank you so much, Byron. Yes, exactly. That's right. Okay, so like I say, you have to press it and then cut because that expansion. But if you get a like a kind of rough edge here, I froze the cookies. So don't do what I'm doing there until the cookies are frozen, because obviously they're going to get all messed up. So I froze them so I could handle them. And then I just cleaned up the edges. It didn't take that long, and it really made a huge difference with regards to having them look professional and polished, as you can see here. You see, there's no ugliness. You want to take that time to do that, okay? All right, Penny. Good luck. Both my kids are also doing finals, so good luck to you, really. It's difficult to also be motivated to do your studies. I know that can be tough. All right, so next, you can either obviously leave them chocolate or vanilla, but I decided to paint them. So this is gold airbrush. This particular product is in the supply list if you want to find it. This is the airbrush gold that I prefer. And I found that it was a little, like, you know, it brings out the impression, but I thought it was missing a little something. So you'll see in a second here, I decided to use this kind of paintbrush. It's like a fan kind of, and I'm just brushing on. It's exactly the same product. So instead of airbrushing my airbrush color, I'm painting it on. And you can see there the streaked lines. It's giving it a bit of like, they look like little jewelry pieces, you know. I like this kind of look for Valentine's Day. You can kind of do a variety of them. Ideally, you're not doing full coverage. I like it when some darkness shows. And then once you're done painting them, be careful when you touch them because you can kind of remove the gold with your fingers, and then you just bake them as usual. I don't use leavening agent, or very little. When you're doing these kinds of impression things, the leavening agent tends to warp your stuff and make it look very weird. Nope, no problem. Thank you, Heather. Thanks, Sally. Okay, so now this is the white. And if you guys watched a live, I think it was last year or maybe even the year before, I had done a rolling pin that had texture, and I did exactly the same thing. So those are cosmetic sponges. You want a sponge, not the ones that we see very often. They're like the shape of an egg kind of. These have a flat edge. And so it's easier to paint. And now I'm just dabbing with this white food color onto the chocolate dough, and you can see it really brings out all the pretty detail that the impression made. You don't want to go too heavy because then you see I just did a heavy spot there, and it completely kind of covers the chocolate dough, and it defeats the purpose of kind of bringing out those details. So you want to remove some of the food color, like dab it in the dish and then come back over onto the cookies. And really, this product, I don't add anything to it. It's fairly liquid. It's not like actual food gel. It's a whitener for buttercream. And this is what I use when I paint my dough. Do the crackle thing. I don't make any concoction. I just use that stuff. Again, it's in the supply list if you guys want to find it. It's very affordable. It's not a really high demand product. It's a Wilton icing whitener. Hello, Karen. The best recipe for these, well, I have my chocolate recipe that's in the group. The key issue with chocolate cookies for me, my point of view on this, is the cocoa powder that you use. So cocoa powder is like coffee. So if you guys, there's strong coffee and there's coffee that's milder. Chocolate is a bit like that, and then there's the amount, I guess, of cocoa that they put in the product. So I like Barry cocoa. The link is in the supply list, and that high quality cocoa makes a huge difference regardless of the recipe that you're using, because it is so intense, both color and taste. So it is more expensive, like any kind of quality product. They're usually more expensive. So you want to maybe look into it. It's a fairly big bag. So if you bake a lot, it's a great product. I really like it. So Barry Cocoa, like I said, it's in the supply list. Yes, I think painting before baking actually kind of like seals the color, and it is less susceptible to getting, like if it gets wet or anything, to kind of like smudge and stuff. Well, thank you very much. Very sweet. Thank you. No problem, Sandra. You can, Han, I think, has, if you want a free recipe on her blog, okay? Yes, you have to. That's ideally, if you want to work fast, you just clump them together, and you're better to do light, like don't overload the sponge, light dabbing, and then go back if it's not dark enough, because it's, as you saw, I was trying to wipe it off with the paper towel. Once it's on, it's very difficult to get it off, okay? So I just want to mention, so the cookies that I did, I added, you'll see in a second. So let me just show. So here, these, okay, these are the gold ones, and I decided to add chocolate to these. So this is actually melted chocolate. This is ruby couverture chocolate. So if you're not aware, there is actually pink chocolate out there. It's a specific kind of cocoa that has this color, and it says, I have it right here, it's no color or flavor added. It's actual, like, this is an actual chocolate. And so I did not temper the chocolate. I was kind of like rushed and stuff, so I did get the crystallization, and I'll show them to you in a second. So you're just melting the chocolate and I'm applying it with the piping bag. And because the impression gives like a bit of a hole, well, you can just fill that area with the chocolate. I stirred in actually some dehydrated raspberry into the chocolate to give it a little bit of a taste, but you can see it makes a really cute kind of thing. And if you don't like icing, it's a great alternative. They become double whammy chocolate. So I'm just going to turn on my camera here. If you have a heart, yes, absolutely. You could cut that out and make like a little window. Why is this not turning on? Let's see. There it is. All right. Let's just zoom in to make sure it's focused. What's happening? Here, let's go autofocus. Sorry, guys. It's giving me. Oh, there it is. Oh, there. Okay, there. So here, just to show you the chocolate. You see, Ruby Couverture. It's is it Calubo? And you can see here, it's like this pink color. I can't, if I'm brutally honest, I can't say that I personally love the taste. I prefer regular chocolate, but I just wanted to show you guys, okay? So here are the white cookies. So let me just, so you can see here that what happens is when the chocolate crystallizes, it loses its super shininess. And you can see here it created like some splotching. It's not a horrific, it's not as bad as on a chocolate cookie, but you want to look at maybe how to temper chocolate. And if you go on Han's blog, actually, she has a blog post, how to temper chocolate. So if you go to hanielis.com, and she has a whole blog post explaining, and Han's very meticulous always in her explanations, and you'll learn how to temper chocolate. And I just want to show you another picture I found, and this is the difference between chocolate that's not been tempered and tempered. So you see the crystallization loses all its shininess. So you want to maybe look at how to do that so that you get your best results, right? Or you can get candy melts that don't require that process. So you can just get candy melts at Michael's and melt that. They sell them in all kinds of colors, and you can just fill in the area with that. So this one here, which I'll show you the video, I pre-filmed this particular one. Where is it? So this is actually royal icing. This is not food color. I just added freeze-dried raspberries to it, so it gave it a nice taste. I love raspberry with chocolate, and I just filled it in. Like I made it a little bit runny so it would heal, and no food color. It's just the raspberry. So that's an option if you guys aren't, you know what I mean, you're not crazy about the food color. Maybe you don't have food color. You can use the freeze-dried fruit that you have. Yeah, it's like I don't know. It's you either love it. I guess I would like go good with cheesecake, maybe that kind of a taste. It's not my super like it's not my favorite, but I guess some people, enjoy it. Does it say on it what flavor? It says intense fruitiness. That's what it says. The crystallization, yeah, I didn't find it looked bad either. All right, so for these guys here, for the white ones, which I think are my favorite. I don't know, which ones do you guys like? Here, let me find that picture of all three of them. Which ones do you guys prefer? Here you can see the three versions. I find the chocolate one, because it's so dark, you lose all the kind of detail. On the vanilla, these are vanilla. These are just another batch that I made, and you can see the impressions really show quite nicely. So you like the white? You can, yeah, you can do whatever you want to do. Yeah, I mean, it's a splurge. I bought it. I was like, "Oh yeah, I'm gonna try this." And then I mean, normally it would have been probably finished for the amount of time I've had it because my son absolutely loves chocolate, but he's a major chocolate like addict and he's left it. So I don't want to knock it. Some people might really enjoy it, but we're not super fans. Oh no, it's white. It's white, not silver, but it does. I can see what you're saying. And you know, guys, you could also use that Wilton can if missed, if you wanted to get the gold on there super quick and easy. All right, so for these guys, I'm actually going to use sanding sugar to show you. So if you struggle to get your icing to smooth over, sanding sugar is the thing you want to use. So this is that same kind of pinkish icing, and I'm going to coat it in the sanding sugar. And you'll see how it really, like the sanding sugar is so nice. Like they sell all these really like expensive disco dusts and oh, I'm not even in frame. They sell all these really expensive like disco dusts and stuff like that. But sanding sugar really, in my opinion, where am I here? Let's put that like that. Does the job. Like you don't need to, you can get a bottle of sanding sugar for I think $3 and it does the job. I find it so pretty. This is food. So it doesn't have to look like so artificial, you know? And it does the job. It makes it very shiny and also smooths out any roughness. Let's say your consistency is not exactly how you'd want it. You know, the sanding sugar hides it. So a few things that you can do in this small area, because it's so small. Well, you could do like, you know, Amber's little roses that she does, those little kind of wet on wet roses. Go check out her YouTube channel and you can watch her tutorial how to do that. And you could put one of those inside the cookie. Because it's such a small area, you'll have time to work. The icing won't crust over and you'll be able to, you know, add the little rose or do a little monogram, a little whatever you want, because it's so small. It gives you time to kind of work. There we go. You see they're a little bit rough, and I'm just going to coat them with the sanding sugar, and you can see how shiny that is. I love it. So there's a little bit of remnants you see there, but once they're dry, you can just take a pastry kind of brush, and you'll just be able to dust that off. Like, don't worry about it. Once they're dry, you can easily, or you can use an empty airbrush. So if the airbrush has nothing in it, you can use that to blow off the excess. But if you do it that way, then it gets everywhere. If you wait for them to dry and use the brush over the trash can or your sink, you don't have to worry about getting sugar particles all over your kitchen. So that's an option. But here you can see like there is the remnants there, but you can see the difference between the shine and the color. See how darker it gets? I find they look like jewelry too. I like them. I find that they're, you know, and the other thing, just to show you, here's my hand. You see they're not big cookies. So these are great. Like, you know, the big cookies are nice and fun to decorate, but they're not really practical for eating. I find that this is a really nice portion. Like it's 2 bites. You could make a little set of these for a wedding. They could be wrapped as like little favors or something like that, you know? So many, like if you have the right packaging, you could do a little chocolate, like a box of chocolates, you know, those that's really popular for Valentine's Day. You can make faux chocolates, which are cookies. You shop for your packaging now, and then you can kind of measure and see what cookies are going to fit in there. But like I said, you don't have to worry about being a great pipe, like great at piping. Maybe Camille, this is something that would be manageable, and you can just fill in the area. The impression, the hole is not that deep. Again, like I mentioned, watch out for the leavening agent. If you add a lot of baking powder, it chances are your design will get kind of, you know, it'll go away as they bake because it kind of swells the design and it takes away from the, you know, it doesn't make it as perfect as soon as you have the leavening agent in there. I stuck my finger in it here. Let me hide there. So the other thing that's great when you've added sanding sugar or sprinkles is you can physically touch it because it's like coated. So if you're a beginner, sometimes, you know, it needs a little tweaking. Because of that sanding sugar, the surface is no longer sticky and you can get in there and kind of push the line over if you need to. Okay, so here let's bring them all into frame. So we have the chocolate one with just the pink icing, and then here is the gold version. I always struggle trying to get into the frame. Is it more this way, this way? No, this way. There. All right. So you can see here the three versions. The chocolate, it tastes very good like this one, but from a visual, like you're losing so much of the detail. I really do prefer when there's a bit of color that's added to make that kind of stand out. Yes, I think it would be doable. So the other thing I wanted to show is I added another product link in the supply list, and here are two versions of these products that you'll find on AliExpress. So I've seen non-AliExpress sellers offer these this year. The prices are crazy. So you want to, if you're interested in this, you want to go look on AliExpress. If you're ordering for Easter or for any kind of upcoming holiday. So this is obviously a cat. So last year, maybe some of you remember, I did roses with the same thing. So these are wood, just a piece of wood. And it's with those kind of like laser cutting machines. They come in and they dig out the wood. And then you can use this to put your cookie dough and make these kind of molded cookies. And I'll demo these a little bit later, but I found a really pretty heart one, and it has a crevice in the middle to put icing or jam or something like that, and you'll see it in the supply list. And you'll find these other kind of versions, and for Easter here, I got this one, this bunny. The cat, I was surprised at how big it is. This bunny is a great size. Here you can see my hand there. You see, it's like, I don't know if it's here, do I have a tape measure? I don't know if it's 3 inches, honestly. You see, it's 2.5 inches. Yeah, it's roughly 2.5 inches. So it's not a big cookie, this one, and you could pair it. You could have a molded cookie with no icing and then do some Easter eggs with a bit of icing. It's nice to have a variety of kind of designs, you see, and you could make them with chocolate dough and just kind of brush them on with a bit of white to bring out all these really pretty fur things. The cat, I mean, he's here. I was annoyed. This is like planks of wood that they, you know, they use whatever. And so it was like glued together. And so here's the joint. So I have a bit of a crack. So this is one that had a little bit of a, but I guess once it's in there, it wouldn't show. But it is annoying when we buy these things. And so the eyes here, I can see that they would be easy to paint. And again, you could brush it on with the food color. I'll try these on in a future live, you'll see. But I did roses with them and they work really well. It's like a rolling pin, so the wood releases really well the cookie dough. The cat, let's see. So it's like 4.5 inches. It's big. And then this way, it's 2.5. So it's like it's a nice cookie. It could be a really cute gift set. You could pair it with maybe I don't know, some balls of yarn or maybe some fish or, something cat related. It is a pretty design. If you guys go look on AliExpress, you'll find they have a whole bunch of them. Yes, they're the really high end ones will cost you $30. On AliExpress, you can get them for, 5, 6, sometimes $10. If you look, there's often many sellers selling the same product. So if you take the time to go through the sellers, you'll find sometimes a bit less, and you want to look at your shipping options. So if they say free shipping, like I mentioned for the other ones, if you just look or at their option, like you can get much faster shipping, like a month difference for a marginal, like it was $1 for the other, these ones here, it was an extra $1 to get them shipped in time for Valentine's Day. So that's it, guys. I just wanted to, make you aware if you wanted to get any supplies for Valentine's Day or anything really on AliExpress. It does take a while, and now they're in their Christmas rush, so you want to get your orders placed if you do want to get anything. I did see that they sell food color. I don't know if you want to order your food color from China. Maybe even the products that we get here are from China, but historically, the things I've seen on the news, it's not ideal. So maybe, make sure that you're getting your colors from a safe, a safe thing. It's one thing to use this, you wash it, or cookie cutter, but food color, that's like in. You want to be careful about ordering these things from these random places so you don't get sick. Well, thanks for joining us, Amber. Sorry we didn't get to hang out. Thank you, Carla. So, guys, I hope you enjoyed that. Like I said, if you want to check out the supply list, I'm going to start being better about that, adding them to the coffee shop. Let me add the link again here so that you guys can find it. There it is. So you can go and download today's supply list. And if you guys aren't members of my cookie school group, you can check it out. I have the link on the bottom of the supply list if you want to sign up. I have a really, really pretty snowflake, 2 snowflakes, a floral and a kind of more classic, winter looking one as this month's tutorials. So, Kim, you had a question? You didn't get the notifications. Maybe on Facebook, go on my page and click, to get the notifications. That's the only thing I can kind of think about. That's all I can kind of think to tell you to get the notifications. Hello, Trish. Oh, well, thanks for joining me, Nadine. You're on to your 12 days of cookie making. We'll enjoy, Connie. No, Camille, when I did it with the roses last year, it really works very well. You want to have a dough that's chilled, because it's less sticky, and you don't want to have a dough that's really wet. But I'll find the rose one and I'll send it to you. Thank you, Liza, for joining me. Thanks, everybody. Well, that's it. So, I don't know if there's going to be any lives for the rest of the month, just because of all these, it's just like gotten a little tricky this month, but we'll get our schedule for January and get ourselves organized at least for the coming months. Your notification, Carla, is it a YouTube notification you're getting? Thanks, Fabiola. So maybe if you're, because it's free to sign up to YouTube, you guys, so you could get your notification, sign up Facebook, sign up YouTube, and then you'd get for sure the notification. That's the only thing I can kind of suggest. You too, Shirley. Have a great Christmas, everybody. So thanks, everybody, for joining me. And we'll see you in probably 2023. Bye.